my lovely friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ness and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we are building a Christmas market and some aesthetic areas to surround it. I was inspired by two real life places for this build, and I really hope you guys enjoy it because I absolutely love the outcome. Stay tuned until the end for the results, and please like this video and support by subscribing if you do indeed like the content. So I started off this area by waterscaping, and I wanted to achieve this look. This is Hollywood Studios at Disney World, and I absolutely love the Christmas tree centerpiece and the floating baubles. I think everything looks so beautiful together, and the baubles just look really adorable. So I did try to replicate that, obviously, with a little bit of twist and using some certain items in the game, and I do struggle a lot with waterscaping, so don't make fun of me, okay? But yeah, I would have to say that the end result of this area specifically is probably my favorite part in this entire video. I think it looks beautiful, but you guys can tell me what your favorite area is down in the comments below because I really want to hear your opinions about it. I just want to pop in here and say how gorgeous that the water is. I don't have that much water on my island, but when I saw this, I thought it looked beautiful. The water is literally sparkling from the reflection of the sunlight in the game, and I think it's the little details of this game that makes it so amazing. So full disclosure, I didn't even plan on making this area. I was just gonna add a body of water, but then I thought about the Hollywood studios and I thought about how gorgeous that would probably look if I did it correctly. So this is my attempt too. And I did make a lot of mistakes, but I'm still really happy with how it turned out. So you guys can't see it yet, but on the other side of this lake, there is a land bridge that I made a while back since like the start of my island, and the views from there are spectacular. I can't wait until you guys see it. So I thought about adding another little island here because I really like the way that the first one looked to the left of it, and I wanted to kind of create like that farther perspective from the land bridge. So I added this here, but a little minor spoiler alert, I do end up taking this away because I did want this area to be a little bit symmetrical, and this would have prevented it from being symmetrical, so I eventually took it away. But I mean, in theory, if I had more space, it would have looked really pretty, I think. So over here, I'm just laying down the paths in kind of like a patchwork pattern, and I absolutely love the shade of this path during the winter. It's the lightest shade of gray mixed with a little bit darker tints, and I think it looks gorgeous. But I'm just rounding out the corners because this will be a diagonal path. Said hi to Maddie. You know, she's my girl, so So yeah, I'm just rounding out the paths, and I actually really like the way that this looks. This builds off of from my Nook's Cranny, so I thought that this was kind of like a really nice segue into the Christmas market. My only problem is that when Christmas ends and I have to tear all this down, I'm not really sure what to put in here. So feel free to give me some suggestions because I have no idea right now. So this is a really important message that I really want you guys to listen to. Ready? Ready? Are you guys ready? Filbert is an angel. He's my favorite villager because I had him since the GameCube days and I've been attached to him ever since. And that's it. That's the message. So this is the part where the Christmas market is, and I use the wooden path because I love the color of it during the winter months, and I imagine the Christmas market to be a place where vendors go to sell homemade knickknacks and crafts, and every item is very unique because they are handmade. And for this area, I was very inspired by the Rockefeller Center in New York. It showcases angels that hold trumpets, so I use the Valiant statues. We are going to ignore the fact that the Valiant statues are headless, but they do have wings and they do look like angels, so we're going to admire the beauty instead and ignore the fact that they are headless. So this was when I had the sad realization that I would have to demolish this island because it was not fitting well within the spaces with the Christmas market. So I did try to salvage it by moving it one space down. However, it didn't really work and I ended up having to demolish the entire thing except for leaving one grid of a small island where I just planted a rose on it, which I still think looks really pretty. So I was pretty content with it because I still think that it adds that depth and color to the area and the lake. During this entire build, Filbert kept on pacing back and forth, and I thought it was so cute. But my breaking point was when I just planted the roses and he goes and waters them. I didn't think that I could love him more, but I stand corrected. I just love the lazy villagers, but he is my lazy king. So I never really plan out my exterior builds. I usually just go with similar colors, and if I want like a centerpiece in the middle, so I kind of test things out a lot, and I ended up using the stone fencing as kind of like the border between the Christmas market and this aesthetic area, and I really love the way it looks. Is it practical? Do I get stuck a lot? Yes, but I really love it. And I added some iron garden benches to it as well. And then I move on to the Christmas market. But I'm almost done with the aesthetic area, and now I'm just moving on to the Christmas market. All the custom codes that I use in this video will be listed below. And if I was able to find the creators of the custom codes, like their social media or anything like that, I will list them down below as well. I really try to, but sometimes it is really hard to track them down, or sometimes they don't have social media accounts. But I do try my best, and I do try to pay it forward in terms of credit. So, as I mentioned in the video earlier, I really imagine the Christmas market to be a place where vendors sell homemade items and handcrafted items, and maybe even stocking stuffers. So I used a few Toy Day items in this area, and I added the centerpieces using the gift pile, the Big Festive Tree, illuminated snowflakes, and illuminated present. I love the colors together, and for this area, I actually didn't stick with the cooler tones. I used reds and greens, and it's just festive colors all over, and I absolutely love how beautiful and how colorful everything is, because for the ice skating rink in my earlier festive decorating videos, I did use more cooler tones, and I was able to achieve that kind of icy aesthetic using those blue tones. But for this area, I want it to be cozy, I want it to be festive, and I want it to be very warming and welcoming. So we're going to use warmer colors instead. I added some wild log benches because I want my villagers to sit when they get tired from being cute and maybe shopping for Christmas presents or holiday presents. So I put those there, and I felt like it kind of tied the space together a lot better. And I am now customizing some illuminated trees because I wanted to add those in the back by the angels or the valiant statues. I really think that this adds a lot more brightness to this area as well, because there's not that much light here as opposed to the big festive tree in the Christmas market, which brings enough light. And now I'm adding some melted snow or some snow tracks onto the ground. And I really love it because I think it actually really ties the place together. For me, I think adding custom codes, adding some like leaves or some decorative custom codes actually really ties a whole place together. And I love dropping seasonal items. So I just dropped the ornaments, snowflakes, and I dropped a few star fragments because those light up during the night, and I think they look gorgeous with the area. So I'm just adding some stones on the ground to create a path and a smoother segue from the Christmas market to Bo's house. This leads up to Bo's house, which has his lavender farm and his pumpkin patch, but right now, because it's in season, it's his Christmas tree farm. And then I'm just fixing this tree so it's more symmetrical with the other side. Then right now I'm just dropping some snowflakes because, again, I love dropping seasonal items and also just creating texture and more depth into the area that I am decorating. And then I'm putting some illuminated snowflake decorations in the back, and then we move on to the path. So I thought that I wanted the patchwork path here again, but the thing is, the skating area, I just use the other gray path for that. So I was kind of figuring out what would look better, and if I were to just use one path instead of both of them. And I obviously curved the edges so it didn't look as harsh. Ultimately, I went with the lighter stone path because honestly, I'm just really in love with it for the winter season. I think it looks beautiful, and I just connected it with the path that is coming from the skating area. After picking the path, I just went ahead and filled in the small spaces, either with trees or red roses. I am deeply, deeply in love with this area, and I can't wait for you guys to see the end result, which is just coming up. This view is amazing. I love the Nova lights, and I love the twinkle of the Christmas lights in the background. I think that looks extremely beautiful. And then if we walk through the skating rink, it leads us down the path that we just finished straight into our Christmas market, and everything here looks so festive and bright and just so colorful. I love it. And then we go into the aesthetic fountain area with the Valiant statues that is supposed to emulate the Rockefeller area in New York. And I have to say, it doesn't look exactly like it, but it looks extremely beautiful to me. I'm actually really content with how this area turned out, and I love the segue of it into nooks and vice versa. I wanted to take this time to say thank you so much for watching, and comment what your favorite area is, and tell me what you think I should replace this entire area with after the holidays are over. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for your endless support and all your kind words. And look, there's Filbert again. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!